I have returned and I am in your face. It is true. It's been a while since I've done a new video on the channel, and what I want to get you all used to is this is my plan. This is what I am expecting to do from now on, is because I have realized with the free market, supply and demand, if I stop making videos for a week or two, my subscribership goes up. So what I do is I watch my app and I see once it flatlines or even just drops, then I'm like, oh yeah, now I do some more videos. But I kind of think of it like Netflix. I just make a bunch of videos all at once, often on the same night, and then just publish 3 to 5 a day until they're done, and then let a week or two go by and watch my subscribership. And typically it's going up when I go away, which is a paradox, because if people subscribe, that means they want to see more of my videos, and then I throw a whole binge at them and let them watch 3 to 5 a day accordingly. I have a question though, because I know most of you watch my hair loss videos, and the question is this, and because I like to ask this every couple of months just to kind of gauge the audience, because man, how I don't even know how many subscribers I have anymore. I guess it's like 76, 7,700, something like that. And a lot of the newcomers that watch my hair loss videos, what they don't understand is they think that I'm a man who's basically a year and a half away from turning 40, who actually cares about receding hairlines or worried myself that I'm going bald. They don't have a concept that I'm actually doing this for them to feed their own obsession. So I like to do a vote every once in a while, just to kind of check in with the people who watch my videos. And maybe you don't even really watch the hair loss videos. Maybe you watch some of my other ones, like the ones for atheists or something like that, or existential crisis. But you're seeing all these hair loss videos come through your feed and think, this guy is so obsessed with his hair, or that he's going to go bald. So vote is what I'm going to say in the comment section. Do you believe that I actually care about my hair? I'm curious to know your perception, because what I've learned is most of the time, something like 3/4 of my viewers actually think that I care about hair loss. About 1/4 of them or less get it. I work in HR, I make good money. I have a blog that makes me, tonight I made $70 just by doing a few blogs. I mean, it's really easy for me to make money on the side, but then this is fun for me for YouTube, because I make the money and while I sleep. So it's really fun, and I'm feeding into people who are obsessed with topics already, such as hair loss, because it's not something you can openly talk about without it turning into some kind of conversation about, oh, well, here's the cure for hair loss, because it doesn't exist. If it existed, then this channel wouldn't exist, because people wouldn't be, am I going bald? Do I have a receding hairline? How do I know? How do I save my hair? And so I am the best thing there is, the closest thing there is to a cure for hair loss, and that is someone who will feed your obsession and make money from that, and ultimately, hopefully, give you confidence to not care anymore. Because you can imagine a guy who's almost 40, who's been married for over a decade and has 2 kids and has a perfect house in a perfect neighborhood and living in the wealthiest county in the state. I mean, I've got it good. My life is good. Do you honestly think that a guy like me would care if I go bald or not? But I think a lot of you do. A lot of you get caught up in the concept of, well, but Nick, you talk about it all the time. Surely you have to care a little bit. And I think about 3/4 of you still are in that mindset. You can't separate the character because of the frequency of videos that I do. It's hard for you to differentiate that. And so ultimately, here's what I predict. I predict 25% of you get it. I'm making a side hustle between $400 and $500 a month off of the ads that show for these videos. But ultimately, and that's the selfish part. But the unselfish part is I do enjoy mentoring younger men and helping people deal with stuff that don't have the life experience that I have. And because I'm like double most of your age. So I get that out of it. I know that I get to help people. Some people who allow themselves to be helped and realize that, what if you had the mindset of a nearly 40-year-old guy who doesn't care about his hair anyway? And it's easy to say, well, it's easy to say because look, you're not really bald and you're almost 40. Either way though, if I did go bald tomorrow, I would still be okay. And it's all about mentally getting to that point. But it's a fundamental question, and this reflects you. It doesn't reflect me. It reflects how you perceive yourself. Because if you're going to say, Nick, I think you're secretly obsessed with hair loss, that's why you make all the videos, despite what I just spent the past 3 minutes explaining. If you still are stuck in that mindset, what it tells me about you is you've got a long way to go as far as building your own identity and having knowing what your skill set is and knowing how to be a competent person that makes people laugh and feel good about themselves and building other people up. When you don't have your own identity, you naturally think something as superficial as hair loss and something natural and I'd say normal, you're going to get caught up in looking at yourself because that's all you've got to go on at that point in life. So I think people who are that obsessed with their own appearance because they've got no other identity are naturally going to say, yes, you're obsessed with hair loss. I think a quarter of you will get it right and say, oh yeah, I totally get what you're saying. Nick, I get it. You make a lot of money from this. You enjoy helping people. You don't care about your hair loss. You're exploiting it ultimately, but you're a nice guy. You're a fun guy to watch. And there's really nothing else, no one else on YouTube who does what you do. So I just like to watch you anyway. See, I think that's a quarter of you. And for you guys, we're on the same level. Like, we can be honest about this. Like, this is all just entertainment. That's all this is. But at least we can be real about it. And I can appreciate that. But I know that the majority aren't anywhere close to getting reality as it is. So go ahead and vote. Do you think that I actually care at all about my hair loss? Tell me in the comments. Or do you accept the truth as it is, as if it just described it? The real reason I do these videos about hair loss. And that ultimately, think about how I opened this video. I opened it by even telling you, hey, there's a formula behind this. Because when people are obsessed with hair loss, they just want to watch as many videos as they can. And then when I take that away from them, I better subscribe because I don't want to miss the next video. And so I can actually see subscribership going up and down. So I pull away, I create a concept of scarcity by not making videos for a while, and then bam, you get another binge watch set that you get to. Like, I'm pulling the strings here is what I'm doing. Like, I'm behind the scenes. It's all a formula to me. And now that I know this much more about it, I'm going to continue to disappear for a week or two at a time. If I knew that it would help subscribership just to keep throwing one at you, I would. But I think you need to miss me for a little bit for the viewership to where it is. It's a side business for me. That's what it is. That helps you, hopefully, puts money in my pocket. But ultimately, helping you is the fun part. Because as I've talked about in those existential videos that I've made, I'm someone who's at the top of the pyramid as far as Maslow's hierarchy of needs. At that point, when you're at the top, the only way you can move up, in essence, you can't really move up, is to help other people and mentor other people and help them get where you are. That's ultimately what you're seeing in all these videos. And people largely ignored those existential videos. But yet those were the most dear to my heart and what I was going through at the time. And I had so much fun making those videos with my dad. And a lot of you, I think the quarter of you who get what I'm actually doing here with this channel, watched those and appreciated them. But most of it, oh, it's not about hair loss, I'm not going to watch it. So it's interesting to see those of you who accept me for who I am as an actual man, as an actual human being. Those of you who accept me for that. Imagine this, the last video I posted before this, I was actually going through something. I had a friend that committed suicide. It made national headlines. Both my wife and I were dealing with that in real time as real life people. And that was the last video we made. Like, I'm a real person that goes through stuff. But yet I play a character that feeds obsessions about hair loss. So I can always look at the views to know, okay, here's the people who actually get it, who actually, in essence, even care about me as a person. Not that it matters that random people on the internet across the world watch my videos. Oh, I feel better because random people on the internet watch me. No, I have a secure home base life. Everything's good inside of here. It's a matter of recalibrating things, and that's why I had to do those videos. That's why for the existential crisis, the one about my friend committed suicide, those are things that I had to sort through. And for many of you, you're sorting through thinking that your whole concept of being attractive and unlikable is based on something as superficial and natural as hair loss. So I'm in a different planet way over here, but I'm still able to connect to you, and that's really ultimately what's going on. But even after a 10-minute explanation, I still think 3/4 of you are going to leave a vote in the comments saying, no, Nick, you do at least care a little about your hair, because why else would you make so many videos? Again, I explained it for 10 minutes. I still don't think that's enough. I don't think anything I can say will negate the fact that I've got, 2,800 videos about hair loss alone. That speaks louder, I think, than the truth. You be the judge. Comments right here.